What am I doing on the back of a pickup truck driving through a village on stilts on a dusty road that is normally several meters underwater in the rainy season? Let me explain. Not far from Siem Reap there is a huge lake named Tonle Sap. Between 180,000 and 1 million people live in and around this lake that triples in size and fivefolds in depth during rainy season. You'll learn more about this lake as we go along in this video. In our previous video about our friends in Siem Reap, we told you about the plastic pollution problem and their environmental work in Cambodia. In this video, we're going to show you even more of what's going on the inside, how Babel Guesthouse are able to portray problems to guests from all over the world that segue into practical solutions locally. Katrine and Simen have been taking on traveling schools for many years, and while we were visiting, there was a class from Nord Hordaland Folkehøgskule in Norway having their yearly stopover in Siem Reap with a fresh class of global studies students traveling the world together for several months as part of the one-year study.
What are we doing?
We are going to clean up plastic!
And these are the teachers, Steinar and Christian. One of these guys, Mr. Steinar, sits on the board of a Norwegian organization called Rivers Global. They have designed and tested a device for catching plastic in rivers with exceptional results. Now, he wants to put it to work where it's most needed. With him, he's got the blueprint for the device that he gladly shares for free with anyone who wants to build it. I'll tell you more about why the rivers are especially important to focus on and why the area around Siem Reap is especially in need of a solution like this later in the video. The guy that is more than capable of building this thing is Darren. Let me tell you more about Darren as we take a drive towards that village. Darren is a Canadian that has a workshop not far from the garbage heap outside of Siem Reap, whereas you remember Katrine telling us,
Yeah, refill, not landfill.
Because all of these plastic bottles,
They end up in the countryside. So it's 4.6 million plastic bottles ends up in the countryside in Cambodia monthly just because of tourism. And this cannot continue.
Yep, this is where all of these bottles and every other piece of trash from the area goes. And on that heap, there are many people looking for little pieces of metal or food or anything of value.
So we work with steel, we work with fiberglass.
Darren makes work for some of these people in a very thoughtful way, making sure he does not evolve someone out of their situation at the cost of someone else. His patient work has turned into quite a few interesting projects over the years. At the moment, there's a lot going on with fish farming, and that is exactly why he might be the guy to talk to if we want to get this thing built. Let me tell you about another guy we picked up on the way. This is Supal. He is the man who can connect and educate local people and government in a united fight against pollution. You will see this man constantly breaking barriers on his mission to inform his countrymen and better the living standards of especially the many families living on floating villages on Tonle Sap. He knows the people to know around the area, and he can find a suitable location for Rivers Global plastic collection device. Floating villages on Tonle Sap? Yes, and there are quite a few. During and after the Vietnam War, there were plenty of refugees coming over to Cambodia from Vietnam. In Cambodia, there is a law that states that only Cambodians can own land. These families ended up living on boats that evolved into floating villages in and around Tonle Sap. Since they are not Cambodians, they also have no social support. Schooling and healthcare is hard, and pollution is a big problem, since as you can guess, most of these people live off of fishing. And this is Chris Hall. She helps the people of Tonle Sap with exactly these problems. So let's sum up the recipe a little bit. Babel Guesthouse make international visitors aware of the local problems in Cambodia. Inspired, international visitors return home to develop solutions to bring back to Cambodia. Babel Guesthouse then uses their network to find someone to build it, someone that knows where it's most needed, and someone who can make it happen politically. And at this moment, all of those people are in this pickup on the way to look for a spot to place the device. Removing plastic once it's in the lake is a very hard task, but catching it in the rivers before they get there is much more efficient. Anything caught before entering the lake will lose its ability to do harm as it is, and also prevents bigger pieces of plastic becoming billions of pieces of microplastic, harming the ecosystem on a more foundational level. This, along with deforestation of the mangrove forest, are the biggest threats to this freshwater ecosystem, said to be one of the richest and most diverse in the world. A village chief that understands the problem is vital for the project. Supal is on the case, and this is one of the suggested places to put it. It might not look like much now, and it even runs away from the lake at the moment, but once the rain starts pouring, this river will be quite big and drag along huge amounts of plastic that is fairly easy to catch with this device compared to after it has entered the huge lake. Things are looking good.
Here, the water come here to this level.
These houses are built on stilts, and there are thousands of them around the lake. When rainy season starts, water level rises in the lake from around 2 to 3 meters to 12 to 15 meters, putting these villages in the water. At the same time, all the trash laying around on what was dry land in the dry season will be caught by the rising water and become part of the lake, accompanied by all the plastic the rivers manage to rinse from its path and flush into the huge ecosystem of Tonle Sap. These are the people we are trying to help. And just down the road from here is Darren's workshop, where the idea is that he can build plastic collection devices using the same materials and equipment he is using to build his fish farms. What a difference this man makes. Just listen to one of the many stories he told us.
We decided that we needed to be able to guarantee our own supply of fish. So we built this nursery. Said, okay, well, why don't you take some of our equipment, put it inside the prison, start fish farm. You'd feed the prisoners, you'd buy from your own operation and take the money from that, and you'd have your budget for your vocational training program from the profits. He goes, great. He called up these three-star generals, the leaders of the prison system. They showed up a couple of days later. They're all over here looking at everything. Then they take me to a couple of prisons in Tanti Menche and Odi Menche, poor prisons. I said, you know, the only reason why we would even want to get involved with you is because we think that we can maybe help the prisoners. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll call you training morals and values training. Call it whatever you want. We're going to be giving them a skill set so that when they leave the prison, they will go back to their communities and have a viable skill set. And there'll be an opportunity for them to potentially buy equipment and start their own fish farms in their own communities in the future. They said, great. Oh, and by the way, we want you to do this in all 29 prisons.
In the whole country. In the whole country.
The whole country.
But you're doing the first one in a couple of months.
Yes.
From now. That will be the pilot, right?
The pilot in the next couple of months. Yeah, you lift them right out. So these fish are being sold right now to wholesalers. They are using them for weddings, and they're freezing them, doing various things.
What a great way to make a difference. Head over to Made for This Fabrication on Facebook to follow Darren's work further.
Jeg veldig fornøyd med dagen. Nei, det må være på engelsk. I'm so happy about this day. I feel it's meant to be. Because this is placed right next to where we are planning to place it. So good.
Yeah, that was a successful day. Can't wait to get back to the guest house and get a shower after a hot day on the pickup. But on the way back, we get a call that there is no water at the guest house, and Katrine, she's a bit stressed. This is life in Cambodia. Another reminder that taking for granted what we have at home is a big mistake.
Ja,
det ikke vann på gjestehuset, så var jeg litt stresset.
After a few hours though, it was back and everyone was clean once again. The teachers are not the only ones exposed to the plastic problem. In between sunrise trips to Angkor Wat, shopping at the old market and having dinner on the boat on Tonle Sap, we collect trash.
What are we doing?
We are going to clean up plastic!
Every year Katrine takes a class to go and pick trash along a pagoda nearby, a brilliant opportunity to learn about the problem. It's easy to say Cambodians should put it in the trash, but if the trash is not collected, nobody knows about the challenge the plastic is to the environment, and everything you buy comes in plastic. Then the challenge becomes something else than what we Westerners quickly states as an attitude problem.
Ja, jeg gikk bare og snakket med henne, men så kunne hun ikke engelsk, så hun tok opp en sånn speak to translate. Og så sa jeg bare at vi plukket søppel, og at hun hadde mye søppel i bakgården sin. Og så sa hun at hun visste ikke hvor hun skulle gjøre det, og at hun visste ikke at det var farlig. Og så sa jeg bare at det var skadelig for miljøet, så at vi kunne hjelpe henne nå, men at hun måtte slutte med det. Så sa hun, ok, jeg skal slutte med det, takk. Det er ikke ondskap, det er bare uvitenskap.
Stemmer. Kjempebra. Hvordan gikk dette?
Jeg synes det gikk akkurat så bra som jeg hadde håpet på. Vi fikk renset denne gata ganske bra. Eleverne fikk sett problemet, og vi har fått vist for de lokale som har kjørt forbi her at det er bra å plukke vekk søppel.
Se på dette da, det er dødsbra! Det var fullt av plastikkdrit rett før vi startet. Se hvor fint det er! Og så må du ta hjørnet også, du må ta hjørnet. Se da! Sånn skal det se ut. Sånn skal det være. Sånn skulle det være. Overalt.
And now, after a few days of work, let us take you to see the lake itself. It's a beautiful lake filled with things to see everywhere. We took our way to the port where we are put on a boat that will take us to the riverboat Queen Tara. This is one of the tours offered by Babel Guesthouse and Babel Boutique Hotel. Just ask in the reception for booking this or any of the other amazing tours offered. We know, we have been on a few. After learning so much the past few days, one really gets a different perspective on things. 180,000 to 1 million people are estimated to live in and around this lake, and they all could use some help to handle the problem the surroundings throw at them. It's quite unfair, really. Just as I was going to make this epic shot of Ask and Babo sitting on the boat, we got a real-life proof of the problem. Imagine how much havoc a piece like this can make as it turns into smaller and smaller bits over time. But for now, let's just enjoy the beauty of the lake and the absolute chilled out atmosphere on the boat.
Kanskje da. How's life, Ask? Pretty good, eh?
Free soda, Morgan,
Oh yeah.
hammer,
Sums it up. How's life?
It's pretty good, but it would be better if I had a straw and a wine glass.
Well said.
And that was it for us in Siem Reap for now. We are leaving our friends behind and going to Bangkok, where we are flying home from. It was an amazing month in Cambodia and we experienced so much while we were here. But we are not done. We have booked tickets to Cambodia in January, so you can expect a bunch of new videos from new places next year. And now we will start to publish all the videos from our 8-month journey in 2022 and 2023, and we just can't wait to show you everything we experienced. Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. We really enjoy making videos that make a difference. We are not big YouTubers yet, but we do make some money from what we do, and we want you to know that all the proceedings from this video will be donated to organizations working to better the health of the ecosystem and the people of Tonle Sap. Thank you for watching, and please share this video with someone you think will care. Links to the organizations mentioned in this video are in the description, and you can contact us directly for donations.